Welcome back, this is Kaz. I am picking up where I left off with the previous episode. I have not clicked on done yet, but let's go ahead and do that and let's get started. Again, this is a blind playthrough of Pillars of Eternity. Please no spoilers, but if I miss something, please do tell me, and let's get started. Okay, so it's not voiced. Okay. Caravan Master Odima. The Caravan Master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you are planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
Okay, so maybe it is voiced. He nods toward a looming black mass on the hillside. Did you see a black mass?
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who would be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
Dude has some military background with the tone of his voice there. At last, the Caravan Master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day.
So, drink water because you're sick. Okay.
There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water.
Okay.
I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Odima looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfel, who carries an old sun-bleached bow. And he says that to him. He nods in your direction, after saying got a sick one. Sparfel nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder. Okay, so choices. Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one. Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear.
The effigy?
Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
He adds with a wink. Half a what? Okay, so we have a little box here. Your character's attributes, skills, class, race, culture, and sex may all open up options for you in dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to the other responses, but give you a wider variety of choices to select from. The manner in which someone responds to your choices depends on their individual personality and attitude. Okay. I'm not going to disable these, and I'm not going to minimize. Those, I imagine, will come in handy for someone who hasn't played in months and effectively has not played really at all. So, who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Is it
not if you hurry
dangerous
about your business. And not if the weather holds up.
There's a concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate. What kind of weather do they get out here?
This time of year? Rain, mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never care to.
The spirit's path. South. What are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground? A rather observant question, I suppose.
They don't got Audra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days.
Well, maybe it actually does still grow, and it just has such a slow growth rate you can't tell.
The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Great, so we've got soul gems here too. That's fantastic, and that's almost good up. I'll go see about those berries.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
Then don't look for the body. He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's nights sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kyssa. Kyssa!
The woman looks up on her own time. Okay, so I guess not everything is voiced. Okay. Caravan Master Odema. She needs to find some spring berries. Watch that she doesn't drop dead. Thanks for the confidence.
No promises.
Familiar voice.
What kind of guide says something like that?
The kind that's realistic. I like her already.
Kind you can afford.
I really like her.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Whatever the hell a hut dweller is.
You heard the man.
Oh.
Let's get going before you keel over.
And suddenly action everywhere. Okay. I'm assuming that's where I get quest updates. Welcome to Pillars of Eternity. If this is your first visit to the world of Aora, you may want to watch these windows to become familiar with the tools that interfaces with you. No, would that be why it's called a tutorial? Your party always consists of your character and up to 5 additional companions or adventurers. So you can have a party of 6. Cool. While the caravan is camped outside the Glanfathan ruins, I think that's how he said it, Odema has assigned Kyssa to help you. Kyssa is a fighter, a class that excels at close quarters defense. Use her abilities to complement your own. To select a party member, click on their selection circle, their portrait, or press the number button that corresponds to their position in the party, starting with 1 at the left. Press the number button. Okay, so if I won't do it yet. I'll try that in a minute. To select multiple party members, click and hold anywhere on the screen and drag the marquee over the circles of party members you'd like to include. I'm assuming you can do that to the portraits as well if you click and drag over the portraits? We'll find out. Tutorials for days. To move selected characters, click anywhere on the screen where your cursor is a circle of 4 wedges. What? Oh, like that, as opposed to that, okay. All selected characters will path to their corresponding position in the formation. If you see a red circle with a slash through it, you cannot walk on that part of the map. Thank you, I just... When multiple party members are selected, the action bar is hidden. To see an individual character's options, select only that character. Okay, can we resize this? Yeah, we can. Well, we definitely want it bigger than what it was. Can you lock this thing so that... I don't know, it's probably... I guess... Okay, so that minimizes it. And what's that? update. This probably looks like cross sword, so I'm assuming that that's going to be like combat log as well. What do we got here? Attack, Q, cancel, select all, back, back. Yeah, whatever. Formation. What? Oh, okay. Cool. Interesting. Custom. Okay. Oh. Oh, cool. Okay, so let's put you there and you there. And if I do that, is that? I don't know. Anyway, you have no camping supplies. Oh, okay. Camp, scouting, left control or right alt. Oh, hello. Tutorial. Scouting mode is used for both stealth and for finding hidden objects like traps and secret containers. So you can't see them unless you're in scouting. Is that right? While scouting, your character's selection circles will start to fill with yellow when a character is starting to detect them. Once the circle fills yellow, the character is suspicious and will move to investigate, while the circle fills red. If the circle becomes fully red, your characters will be discovered. A character's ability to find hidden objects is based on his or her mechanics skill. A higher mechanics skill allows them to find objects at a greater distance. Okay. Moving toward a character accelerates how quickly they will detect you. If you actually touch the selection circle of a character with your own, you will immediately be detected. Okay. Okay, so game is paused. How do I unpause the game? I clicked out of the window. Okay, so we've got several things here, and I do apologize if the recording jumps. I had a little bit of an issue with the with OBS there for a minute, so the maybe a little bit lost, but nothing substantial happened. All I did was pretty much move and took a look at a couple of information screens, like the character, the inventory, things like that. Journal, I will go through and I will read all of these at another time on my own, unless you want me to read through these, in which case I will do an episode strictly dedicated to doing that. So let me know if you want me to go through and you want me to read things like the deities. Some of this stuff I will just read on my own time. I'm not going to read through a lot of this and bore anybody with it. Backer content. It was made possible by the journey of thousands of backers, many of whom contributed content to the final game. NPCs with gold nameplates are designed by our backers. Interacting with them will allow you to experience each one's unique history. The tombstone icon indicates a memorial. These are personalized messages written by our backers. Many of them break the fourth wall, so players desiring complete immersion may wish to avoid clicking them. Oh. Many spells and abilities that cover an area on the battlefield can harm both enemies and allies. If an ability lists an AoE radius, it affects everyone in the area. AoE is differentiated by friendly or foe descriptors affect those groups only. However, even an ordinarily hostile AoE will not affect allies in the outer margin of the area provided by a high intellect. You can use this outer margin to safely hit enemies while leaving your allies unharmed. Okay, I'll have to see that in action to understand what that is. Hotkey. Who doesn't know what a hotkey is? Queuing action. Shift-clicking a series of actions or waypoints adds them to an action queue that will be carried out. Quick stash. Oh, clicking an item in a container while holding the shift key will move it directly to your stash. Oh! Well, that's good to know. Interesting. Oh, no, I don't want to create a note. Although, well, I don't know. Let's see. How does that work? Do a test. Do a test note. Update. This is only a test. The emergency carrier pigeons in the event of an actual typo, emergency will not be dispatched for the safety of the pigeons. Good luck. Sound good? Yeah, sounds good. Alright. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Map. Is that a big... Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. So is that a big map or the... Okay, so world map. Let's see. Okay. I have no idea how to tell if this is a large map or not, so I guess we'll just have to see. So that was map. Stronghold. Okay. And, of course, options. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and save the game, and then we're going to get started. So now you get to see the format by which I save my games. Alright, so, let's get underway. There's one more thing I guess I want to check. What is this? Pause. Is that half speed? Double speed? Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so I said that I wanted to check a couple things out, so if I do that, well...
I'm here.
Okay, so if I do that, and then... So, no, that doesn't work that way. Okay.
Absolutely.
What even is this pig? I don't know if that was lost as in the part of the recording that they didn't get recorded, but apparently I had this pig in my inventory sitting right there, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. Spec. Oh, okay. What is this? Party AI is active. I guess I should take a look at the AI. Oh. Okay, so class behavior. I guess. Oh, okay, cool. The character's AI will not use any spells or abilities. The fighter uses knockdown and discipline barrage at the first opportunities. Clear out will also be automatically used whenever the fighter has 3 enemies in range if her rest is enabled. What? Sorry. Clear out. What is clear out? Whenever the fighter has 3 enemies in range of the rest. I don't know what clear out is. An ability, I assume, but the fighter uses vigorous defense when engaged by more than 2 opponents. Uses unbending when below 50% endurance. If per rest is disabled, defender is enabled by default, and if disabled, will be re-enabled at the start of the next combat. Well, I'm gonna be the tank. For the moment. Okay, so passive, the character will not move to attack automatically under any circumstances. The character will not move to attack unless they are engaged by an enemy. If that enemy is defeated, they will seek out new enemies to attack. The character will actively seek out nearby enemies for combat, regardless of whether or not they are being directly attacked. The character will actively seek out enemies for combat, regardless of whether or not they are being attacked. Oh, nearby versus just enemies. Okay, so Defend self. We'll leave it on that. I guess we'll do use per rest abilities. I don't know. Okay. So I believe I am ready to go. You probably saw a moment ago where a bunch of stuff popped up on the screen.
Yes.
I was trying to get some settings corrected in OBS. So I believe it was... Okay, so Alt brings up a lot of information. So you have to mouse over the whatever that was called down there. I don't even remember what it was called. So if I
Go
click
on
that,
then, before it gets too dark.
Get dark. Most people you encounter in the world are neutral or friendly. You can interact with them by clicking on their selection circle. That's the word of. Many characters will simply greet you and go on their way, but others will have larger conversations to explore. The merchant Heoden has a conversation that opens a store with equipment for sale. Okay. And if I...
Yes.
Okay, so that's not how that works. I did notice something.
Absolutely.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Okay. So if I click on her and then I...
Springberries grow wild all over the place here. Keep your eye out.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so what is the tall glass green... I'm sorry, what? These tall glass green pillars. Why how does that work? Anyway, these tall glass green pillars appear as if they have sprouted from the earth. The flickering fire sets shadows dancing within.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I can move the area with WASD. Okay. Because I guess I have edge scrolling turned off. Oh, well, we don't want to go picking locks. So let's go over here and say hello. Caravan Life doesn't agree with you, does it? You look as raw as that merchant, whatever his name is. Okay, so why am I controlling you? Oh, okay, so Alt to bring it up permanently, Tab to bring it up temporarily. Okay.
I'm here. Absolutely.
Wait, hang on. So switch. So it's whoever's closest. Okay. Okay. Deerwood clothing. Right click for details. Though most Deerwoodens originated from the Ader Empire, Deerwooden clothing has changed a great deal since the initial waves of colonization. Deerwoodens favor tough garments, often made from wool and deerskin. Due to the changing weather of the Eastern Reach, vests and other layers are common in Deerwooden daily outfits. Enchantment. Oh, good lord. No, that's gonna be a no. I'm not touching that. Okay, so left click will allow me to pick it up. Alright. That's a lockpick. I can't do anything with that. Okay. What was that last thing? Don't mind Odema. This is a good place. As good a place as any.
I'm here.
Camp. All kinds of beasts in these woods, and then you have the tribe. Okay.
At once.
Okay, so they're not gonna really have anything. Oh, so there's a radius that I can see.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Thank you. You sound... Copper Pond. Minor... These blue-green liquids are attributed with powers of recuperation, restoring energy and liveliness to the weary or morose over a period of time. So it restores depression. I don't believe that. 35 plus 35 endurance over 12 seconds. Okay. Interesting provision. Now I saw quick items. Okay, that's what I thought it might be. Okay. I'm not replacing that. Oh, I can zoom in. Okay, well since I can zoom in, let's see what can I zoom in here? No. So let's see what this does. Does it actually change? It does. That's interesting. I'll just say that that's interesting. So we can zoom out of fairways. We can zoom in of fairways. Okay. We can't change the we can't change the angle of the camera, but we can change the zoom. That's gonna take these two. You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He shakes his head and laughs when he notices you. He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale, if you'd like to take a look.
Well, before we look at your wares, who are
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
Okay, so... Interesting. We might as well try. How incredibly naive. I'm surprised you've lasted this long. If you think these caravanners are prickly, watch out for those axe wielders Odima mentioned. Wow. With an outlook like that, I'm sure you'll do well. Yeah, okay, sure. Well, I don't know. Am I more passionate or am I more clever? That's a good question. So, let's... Am I more passionate or more clever? That seems kind of snippy, and I'm not really much in a snippy type. Anytime the first time I go through a game, I always try to play the stereotypical hero, and the stereotypical hero is typically not snippy. At least not to people who are being friendly or trying to be friendly. So I guess with an outlook like that, I'm sure you'll do well. Seems kind of snide at the same time. You now have one rank in a disposition reputation. These reputations represent how people perceive your personality throughout the world. Even seemingly nasty reputations will be favored by some people, and benign reputations often bring out the worst in certain people. No disposition is inherently good or bad in Pillars of Eternity, but if your main character is a priest or paladin, you must be careful not to misalign their dispositions with what is favored by their deity and order, respectively. For the main character only, their dispositions will modify the effects of holy radiance for priests and faith and conviction for paladins. Didn't do too good a job on that. Well, we'll see, I suppose. I'm just trying to do right by my...
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
I guess we have more things that I'd like to know. Tell me about the Adder Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Ceres and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire. a fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered caravanners. Why'd you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raid Ceres? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
Seems to be hit and miss with the dialogue here. Hey Odin, he shrugged. Deerwood is a former Adir colony. Adir? I got the name wrong. I'm just going to call it Adir. Deerwood is a former Adir colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admired the Rayed Saren's work ethic, they always struck me as a little fanatical. A lot of difficult, out-of-the-ordinary pronunciations for these things. Sounds reasonable enough. That's high-minded of you. Seems like you got the short end of the stick. Well, I am diplomatic. I'm not sure... Not sure how that's diplomatic, but okay. A blush rises from under his collar. Not at all, just doing my part. Alright, well, let's do your part, and what have you got? Okay. Stores allow you to trade and sell your items for copper pieces, CP, or items in the store's inventory. Merchants buy items from you at a greatly reduced price. If you sell something, you may see it appear... I keep losing my place when I scroll down. If you sell something, you may see it appear in the store's inventory with a much higher cost. Stores periodically refresh their inventories. Okay. Where do I... Okay, so I'm assuming that's mine then. Okay, so it doesn't go from most expensive to least expensive, so... Wait, retrain character? Okay, and if I had chosen that, would it have spent it immediately? Okay. Crossbow great. So, you know, I am going to... So he doesn't have a finite supply. He does not have a finite supply of copper, it seems, of currency. Light armor, medium. Okay. Okay. Wow. They 25%, 20%. Okay, so this does not have a set. Okay, this does not have a set it's not based solely on whether it's heavy or medium or what all. Because light armor and light armor, the DR is slightly different on both of them, but this is 20%, this is 25. Or minus. Okay, so interesting. And it looks like, so I get half the price of what he offers, it looks like. Okay. He doesn't have any camping supplies, so... Rod. Well, I'm not here to buy weapons. I have weapons. Okay. Okay, so, what I will probably do then is I'll probably, depending on where I enter an area, I will either go counterclockwise or clockwise. I think for this, oops, shouldn't have mattered. I think for this, I will start by going clockwise. And I'm going to turn the item tags on. I think that's what they're called. So that I don't possibly miss anything. Is there a way to do a mini-map? have to look. You have gained an item, ingredients, Orland's Cradle added. Okay. If I sneak, is there anything in particular? Okay, so there's... Oh, fascinating. The fallen tree doesn't budge. Sap oozes from the jagged wound in its
Not
trunk.
looking forward to trying to lift that thing tomorrow.
Yeah, you almost plowed into that? Nah, dog, you gotta be blind.
Stay quiet.
No, I'm gonna yell as loud as I can. While we're sneaking. Okay, exploration is key in Pillars of Eternity. As you make your way through the Eastern Reach, open the area map to see what parts of the map you've already been to and what's left to explore. Thank you for the painfully basic explanation of what to do. Wait, is that... Oh, it's a lantern above his head. That's not a gold thing.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Okay. So, counterclockwise it is then. Looks like an ingredient. Yep. That it is. This path winds through a narrow canyon back the way
We shouldn't stray too far.
This path winds through a narrow canyon back the way you came. Grooves in the road mark the passage of hundreds of caravans. Does not stay up very long, does it?
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Okay. Oh. Auto paused. Enemy spotted. A wolf. Okay. I'm assuming there's settings for auto pausing stuff. So... Pillars of Eternity combat uses a pausable real-time system. Because you will often manage more than one character at a time, it's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, and resume real-time to see the orders play out. The options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met, e.g. the start of combat. Just like that. Okay, so he's not seeing us. I know I said that I'm not gonna do a stealthy thing, but... Oh, okay. Well, that's... I guess just attack. One of your characters has been engaged in melee. When characters are engaged, they immediately stop moving. If they move again, they will provoke a disengagement attack from the enemies engaging them. Your characters will also automatically engage enemies when they initiate attacks against them with melee weapons. Okay. Okay, I mean, I'm glad that we're pausing to let me know stuff, but this is a lot of pausing. All characters in the game, friend and foe, have 4 primary defenses against attacks. Okay. Oh my god. I've already read through this. You scored a crit! A crit is a better result than a hit, and they are... Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just... I've been gaming since I was 4 years old, and I had arcade machines in my front room in my house. Some of this stuff is painfully obvious to me, and it amazes me that anybody that plays games these days would not know this stuff. I get that there are always going to be new gamers, but some of it should be very obvious. Alright, so wolf hide. Blah 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 blah. So can that be sold? Used for crafting? I don't know.
This is it.
Okay, well if that's it, then we'll come back to it. I'm not through exploring. Never stop with the first thing that you discover. Burned lady. Okay, added the stash. See, never stop with the first thing. Look at how much more I have to explore here. A bridge going across. Kill it! Kill it! Oh. Like I said. Hello! Travelers, maybe, or looters, or bandits. Bad sign, any way you figure it. Wait for that to update in the chat log down here, because it likes to do that to me. The corpse is cold to the touch, and a ripe smell wafts from it in putrid waves. A dark, crusted bloodstain besmirches its simple linen clothing. Okay. Leather armor. Lockpicks. So, if I sneak, is there anything that shows up? No? Okay. Can't cross that. So we'll go up here. Use the tab key to highlight interactive objects in the environment.
Not a sound.
As you can probably hear, that's my cat in the background. I have no idea why he's fussing. Deer cap.
This is recent. Not good.
Okay. The footprints around the campfire are indistinct and may have been here for days or longer. Well, she's not a very good guide if she thinks it's recent, and I'm looking at it going, they hadn't been here for days. Beer! Damage reduction. Wow, 300 seconds. That's, wow. While few foreigners have much kind to say about the beer in the Deerwood, where locals prefer to indulge in narcotics. Great. I live in the drug ghetto. That's fantastic. Beer is still a staple of every inn, home, and drunken feud. Did I? Okay, check down here again real quick. Because I got that message down here, so is there something over here? No, I guess not. Okay. That should take care, yeah, that takes care of the map. Alright. Well, up we go to get Sprungbarith. Which are up here, right? Way up here? No. There they are. As you receive quests, your journal will update with relevant information. If you ever get stuck, open it up to review your notes. An aristocrat reaction. You're the one who's supposed to be for some big shot noble family. That true? Okay. That's right. My royal blood runs through my veins. Only to some, our titles were purchased, not inherited. My family has some clout among the elite. It's true. That isn't your business. Okay, so I guess this is. I guess I can build some more of my backstory with this. Well, do I want to be the cliche from the royal blood and um, giving up my titles and blah blah blah? Um, or is anything aristocratic considered to be royal blood? Um, Only to some, our titles were purchased, not inherited. So I could be a fresh aristocrat. Or I could be a member of an established aristocratic family, saying that I have some clout. You know what? Let's just go with the royal blood. That's right, royal blood runs through my veins. Yeah, how is it you happen to come here? Oh, okay. Someone tried to poison me. That's why I'm sick. Certain jealous family members whispered into my father's ear, and I was disinherited. My family was ousted from power. Some are still held captive. I don't want to rule. That isn't, and of course, that isn't your business. Let's go with someone tried to poison me. Not because I'm strangely ill, but I don't really like any of the others. There's not one that says that I became disenfranchised with the courtly political scene. So I guess someone tried to poison me, perhaps because I was disinclined to involve myself in court politics. Hazard of the lifestyle, I suppose. You had to expect it was a possibility, no matter how much you didn't want it to be that way. Kyssa breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Raedric's offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You here to settle like the rest of the lot? It's a hard offer to pass up. No, I'm just passing through. I hadn't given it much thought. I think that I'm just passing through. I think that I mean, I wouldn't actually be intending to try and establish a base here. So I guess I guess. You know what? I haven't given it much thought. Kyssa, no harm in that. Might as well see the place first. So you must have some other plan in mind for coming this way. I hope to meet someone and fall in love. I love that that's the first option. Probably the same things I did before. Which I'm not sure what those would be. Just looking for some adventure, really. Getting into trouble, I expect. I'm going to find some new friends. I have no idea what I'm going to do next. That's actually the best answer. I have no idea what I'm going to do next. Kyssa, completely spontaneous, huh? Interesting. Well, there's probably no hurry to make up your mind. They've got an inn in the Gilded Vale that'll put you up as long as you need. Or so my sister tells me. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Odima will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. And then I guess I can get to know her a little bit better. Why are you here? Kyssa sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried. But that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out. And that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Examadal. But I'd do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me. So I'm here and we'll see. Odima I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me. Well, tell me about yourself. Kyssa, I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Rauatai and another in Ader. My sister in Gilded Vale, she's the only real homebody. Well, what can you tell me about Deerwood? Kyssa, I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Ader Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, "I'll have to ask my sister more about it." Alright, well, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfel's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like when he feels like it. We should check up on him first. Slap him around a little. Just a little violent. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. In the dialogue. Alright, well, folks, we're going to end it here for today. This went a little bit longer than I was expecting. And we just got an update. We just learned a little bit more about Kyssa, and so we will pick up tomorrow where we will pick up some stream water and apparently slap poor Sparfel around a little bit. Violent guide that she is, Kyssa. And then we will go from there. We'll get back to camp and see where things go. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.